Welcome back to Check Game. I'm here with your boy Alvin Williams.
I'm here with your boy Terrence A. Smith.
Yeah, and we're here to talk about the topics this week in sports. We want to start off talking about this Kevin Durant comment that he made, and I'll read it off to you, Al, so we can get your thoughts. It's a lot of BS with that. I can read between the lines on that. It's a shot at Black Americans. We controlling the sport. They're tired of us controlling the sport. Kevin Durant, what's your thoughts?
Is that regarding what?
They were saying about the international players. Are they catching up to the American players? They're trying to make the game more European, and Kevin Durant think it's BS.
Yeah, I mean, you know the direction of the league and all these sports is sports and entertainment. They're trying to become a worldly game, and what a better way to do it is to promote your product. You're promoting more international players. You're going to promote more the coaches, the style of play, analytics. A lot of things drive that, and it makes sense if you're the league. But unfortunately, the people that been carrying the weight a lot of times in Kevin Durant's eyes, and if we look at it, has been black young athletes, and
Mhm, mhm,
85%, over 80% of the guys are black. But once you start taking I guess, intentional shots at guys and their development and their approach and all that stuff. Right now, you're just talking about how a lot of us were raised, how a lot of us learned the game, how a lot of us approach life. So when you start doing those things, it's obvious what direction and what side you're taking. And again, I think this entire world, society, it becomes so divisive. And so, instead of putting two groups together
mhm.
and making sure everybody is for the one product, promoting the game of basketball is unfortunate. And I was in a situation working with the Toronto Raptors at a stage, and we had half the locker room were international players, and the
Mhm.
other half was black players. And it's funny because they used to say the Americans and the Europeans. We had a bunch of players separated like that. And the team in itself, although everybody appreciated and respect each other, the team was never really cohesive. The team
Mhm.
really never came together. And it's as long as you keep promoting that and having that divisiveness, it's going to hurt the game entirely because it's going to hurt the product. But we also know the NBA is trying to make this a worldly game. And again, what better way to do it than promote in a positive light and a more attractive light than how the NBA and how the media is doing it right now. But you know what it is. Kevin Durant, I think he's on point with this one.
I do too, man. I also feel like the Americans are way ahead. It's just kick up dust. The Americans just beat everybody and won the gold, so we could turn the channel on that. I wanted to speak to you about that foul that the Joker, Lou Dort, committed on the Joker. He kind of roughed him up a little bit, and the Joker got really upset. What do you think of those dirty plays? Is it part of basketball, especially when it's an intense game? How do you feel about that when you play basketball with that kind of
Oh
rough with that
man.
rough play?
Felt like he got touched up a bit. That's
Okay,
all. Like
okay,
like
okay,
eh,
okay.
Joker's the biggest one out there. Lou Dort for sure. He poked his butt out. Unfortunately, the thing about it is that Joker just came back off an injury, but Joker
Mhm.
felt it like, yo, that was a cheap shot, and he handled it the way he handled it. OKC came in there and got Lou Dort's back, and Jalen Williams got in there, and they grabbed each other, did what they did, but again, back in the day, dog, if I knew you came off a broken wrist, or if I knew you had a bruised elbow, or if I knew you had back spasms, you
Mhm.
testing that.
Okay,
You just
okay.
that was just the game. You getting tested. I had teammate John Haynes. You spraying a finger, he swiping down, trying to hit the finger, getting upset if he hit the wrong hands. That's how we you always go for the disadvantage. Or you go for your own advantage or create your
Mhm.
own advantage. So it's nothing. That's what happened. But moving forward, that's one of those things. If you're a player, you got to always protect yourself out there. I don't care what type of sport, you got to protect yourself out there. So I don't really make nothing out of
Got you. Paying attention to our boy Con Knipple, right? He got the
it.
most 3-pointers made by a rookie. He broke the record. And we spoke on him earlier in our show. I asked you why was he the number 4 pick, and he damn sure showing us why. You get close to the game, you call games. What do you see with Con, and why he having such success at an early stage in his career?
Well, I don't think he's showing us why he's the number fourth pick. To be honest with you, he's showing us why he wasn't the number one
Why
pick.
he would that's what you ain't lying.
No, but honestly, you get a chance to look at this young man. He knows the game. He's
Mhm,
more than just a shooter. He plays
mhm,
with a toughness. He plays with an
mhm.
understanding, and he just has a really, really good rhythm with a young team. And honestly, man, that team is really showing improvement. Shout out to the coaching staff. Shout out to the players that are there. They're really buying in. They're being competitive. I got a chance to see them earlier because they took
Mhm.
Toronto Raptors to the wire all throughout this season. Every time they met and they beat the Raptors. So it's one of those things where that team is coming along. But Con Knipple is really showing improvement coming out of Duke. His rookie year, it's just his shooting ability in today's game is very valuable. But also, again, he puts the ball on the deck. He can get to the bucket. He plays with a toughness. He moves excellent without the basketball. So he's fitting this game in today's NBA nicely, and he's going to continue to get better. I still want to see what pieces you could put around him, but he's a value add to any roster, man. He's really doing his thing.
He is, man. Maybe he'll get the Rookie of the Year with Cooper Flag missing some games recently, but I'm enjoying watching Con Knipple play. You wanted to speak to me about SGA to return. SGA's back, and you said he done something real impressive on the court the other night. What you got on SGA, man?
It's 2 games, and it was impressive because I feel like Denver is one of those teams that possibly could be coming out of the West, but what OKC did, man, and went into overtime and without SGA because of the minutes restriction. But this man had 36 points in 34 minutes his
Dang.
first game back after a couple weeks out, man. 36 points in 34 minutes against a top-notch team, man. That's just nothing. And then he followed it up with 30 points, 30 points in 33 minutes.
Damn.
So what that tells me, my man had 66 points in 67 minutes in 2 games, dog. So SGA, he's back right in that MVP conversation. Like he's doing what he's doing, but beware because they gave the NBA a break when he was out, and they still not fully loaded because J-Dub is still out. So when they're rolling full throttle, man, they really impressive. Shout out to Alex Caruso as well, doing some big things against that Denver Nuggets, that win against Denver Nuggets. But 66 points in 67 minutes is really impressive from SGA.
Yeah, it is really impressive, and I'm impressed with his game. I'm glad he's back in the game too. We wanted to speak about the Spurs and the Knicks. The Knicks knocked them off and broke their 11-game win streak, and that was a big game for both teams. What do you think? What was your thoughts on that? What you take away from that game or them breaking the streak?
Well, shout out to the Spurs, 11-game win streak, man. I got a chance to see them. They came through Toronto and ran through wreck shop around there, but they're playing at a high level, man. We talked about them throughout the year. Wemby, we know what he does, but that guard play, man, those guards are really meshing together. They play with athleticism. They got defense. Reminds me of a OKC type of team, a very young team that's above the curve. I think they're exceeding expectations, being second in the West right now in that 11-game win streak. But how about those Knicks, man? Those Knicks really showed improved, man. Big Cat, OG, Mikal Bridges, those guys stepped up. You got Jose Alvarado. He's showing, he's stepping right in. And don't forget the captain of the ship with Jalen Brunson. They really they had the Spurs on their heels on Sunday. So they really did a good job defensively. It's physical. OG Anunoby being physical with Wemby. So the Knicks, they go up and down depending on what the media feel like talking about that particular week. But the Knicks, third in the East, they're one of the formidable opponents, man, for sure.
Definitely. You know we rooting for them with Jalen and Rick out there. You wanted to talk about these Raptors of yours, man. We had something to talk about these Toronto Raptors. You said the other night they 5 of them all recorded a 20-point game. Let me hear you speak on that, man. What happened? What happened with the Raptors?
I mean, they mopped up the Washington Wizards. Washington Wizards. Washington Wizards. But it's impressive because the Raptors have been hurt throughout the entire year. They haven't had Jakob Poeltl in their lineup. The big man, I think he's the deciding factor with them because he brings them versatility. You had IQ, Emmanuel Quickly, going for 27 points, 11 assists. And, Scotty Barnes and B.I., and they had Jakob Poeltl and R.J. Barrett. Only 2 of them had 18 points. The rest had over 20. So having a starting 5 really coming into that groove. I'm excited to see what they can do when they're healthy. I know that's my team. I'm got some biasness to it, but I'm excited when they all together. That was impressive though for those guys to distribute the scoring around like that and have one of those big games. So shout out to the Raptors. Continue growing, and they got a big game on Tuesday against the Knicks, who we just talked about.
Yeah, that's what I need to see. I need to see it against the Knicks before I be tooting the Raptors horn so hard like that. That's game time.
I figured you'd say that.
All right.
God dang.
Game time segment where we talk about something significant in sports. And this subject we wanted to talk about who was our MVP. Right now, Al is past the All-Star season, All-Star weekend. Now we're getting closer to the end of the race. Who you got right now as your MVP if you had to pick one right this moment?
Today?
Today, if you had to pick one.
Today. On Monday, today. Okay. I'm going with Cade Cunningham.
Going
I'm going with
Cade. Okay,
Cade
okay.
Cunningham right now. Reason why, he's playing for the best team,
Mhm,
one of the best teams in the NBA, and he's
mhm,
showing improvement. I just like the fact that he's growing into this point guard role. He's growing into this leader, the emotional leader. He's one of these guys that you starting to see him talk to his teammates through issues. You saw the big fight, the melee well, I won't say a melee, but the brush up against the Charlotte Hornets. He's trying to talk. He's not initiating. He's not going after being aggressive. He's talking to his teammates like, yo, we got a bigger picture. So you just see right there the maturity level. Not saying he would have done that in the past, but as a leader, he's
mhm.
taking that role and night in and night out, he is showing and improving on that as that point guard. And then defensively, where everybody knows how the Detroit Pistons play, he's taking that charge. He's being right there. He's not somebody you can try to pick out and exploit him on defense. He's playing locking down defense. So right now, what he's doing, man, at this ranking right now, he's leading that MVP race for me.
For me, I think it's Jaylen Brown because nobody had him where he's at. I think he's the best two-way player in the game right now. He is a leader if we're gonna talk about leadership, you know what I mean? If you count that as part of the criteria. But to be second in the East without Jason Tatum, that just says a lot. And I think that's an MVP. When you lose your best player and you still get your team to that level of play that you were at without Tatum, that's really impressive. So for me, the way he played defense as well too, and if you want to talk about the way his character, the way he present himself, I just like a lot about the kid. And if I had to pick one right now, I think I'd go with Jaylen Brown. It's game time.
I got you right here, Fats. Tell me who
Hmm.
tripped this week, man.
Hey, yo, so who tripped this week? We got Joker versus OKC in the loss, 23 points, 17 rebounds, 14 assists. Alperen Sengun versus Sacramento with a win, 26 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. And Josh Giddey, he did it against the Bucks in the win, 20 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists. So that's who tripped this week, and we're getting closer to find out who tripped the most, so we can hand out our Debo Award this year. That's who tripped. Facts. This week we wanted to talk about that incident with Lou Dort and the Joker. And from my seat, the media made Joker's rage somehow into him presenting himself in a calm manner, versus when Isaiah Stewart or anybody, another athlete did it, they would call him enraged or they would make him seem to be this violent guy. They didn't do that with Joker. And I just felt Kevin Durant when he said like it's some BS because the narrative can get pushed any way they want to push it. And it's just not cool for that to be a part of the game when everybody's got a little bit of a toughness in them, or everybody got a little bit of rage in them and want to display it how they display it. But it's crazy how Joker's rage was displayed as kind and cool, and the other guy's rage was displayed as anger and toughness. And I just wanted to identify that so we can pay attention to this and just be aware of what's going on in the sport. That's facts, man. This, Al, you know how we do on this day in sports. We always got something significant. March 2nd, your boy Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points on this day against the New York Knicks, and he was playing for the Philadelphia Warriors in 1962. I mean, your boy Kobe got 81, but Wilt, he put up a beam. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, man, the Big Dipper,
The Dipper.
Wilt the Stilt,
Mm.
out of Philly, Overbrook High, West
Mhm.
Philly. Hey,
Mhm.
gotta give him shout outs. You know, we know all about Wilt Chamberlain. Sunny Hill, he praises Wilt Chamberlain, and we've had all these people talk about Wilt, but 100 points in a game, he got a bean, a century. Shout out to Wilt Chamberlain on this day, man. That's something that I won't see in my lifetime probably ever happening in the NBA.
Well, you did see the 81 in Toronto, though. I mean, in LA, right? It's my man. That's this, man. Holla at y'all.
If that's how you say it, we check mail like we check game.
Mm-hmm.
We just recognize a shout out to Kwame Bird. Kwame Bird tapped in with us, man, said, what's up? Kwame Bird, somebody I grew up with. I met him. My dad and his dad used to go down McGonigal and play 2-on-2, 3-on-3 with John Chaney, Sonny Hill, and some of those guys, man. But also, we talked to Big Mark Jackson, and Mark Jackson really praises Mr. Walt Bird, Kwame's father, for introducing the game of basketball to him and taking him under his wing and helping Big Mark navigate the streets in North Philly and you know, come into the game. So shout out to Kwame, man, somebody that we battled a lot growing up in Philly, playing against each other, and we had mutual friends, and again, our fathers were cool with each other. So shout out to Kwame Bird. And Thanks for checking in with us, dog.
Hey, this the end of the show, man. You know we like to thank y'all and appreciate any comments, any support, any love, anything y'all show us, man. We appreciate that all the time. Before we get out of here, Al, what you got, man?
Yeah, you know this is my favorite part of the time. Well, not the
Hmm.
favorite part. You know I love being with you, but giving a shout out to a teammate of mine, former
Hmm.
teammate of mine. I gotta give out the Chauncey big shot
Big
Billups
shot,
Billups.
big shot.
You know what I mean? When you talk about somebody that had no worries out there on the floor, getting big shots, MVP of the finals. In 2004, when they beat the Lakers, Detroit Pistons played with our brother Rasheed Wallace. That was a dope
Hmm.
team. But I watched Chauncey come in, being the third pick in the NBA draft, being traded his
Hmm.
rookie year, then going from team to team to team and finding his niche. Man, he really showed perseverance. He showed toughness on and off the floor. Man, like this is one of my closest friends that I got a chance to play with. One of my brothers, man. So shout out to Chauncey Billups. Much game, Hall of Famer, and that's my man. See you soon, boy.
Big shot.